Welcome and get ready to dive into the thrilling world of investments, where numbers dance, money talks, and the unexpected always keeps us on our toes. In an era where cash often loses its value to inflation, letting it sit idle isn't the smartest choice. With Invest Growth Wisdom, we work to bring you the magic of dividends, illustrating how to turbocharge your investments and make every penny count. We like dividend investing because it can turn your idle cash into a powerhouse, fighting inflation, and working relentlessly for you for a long horizon. No matter how much you start with, or how old you are currently, dividend investing aims to provide you a peace of mind and the security you deserve in your retirement. Today, we will talk about 3 investment strategies and how they can redefine your financial future. Consider James. Much like many of us, James accumulated a decent savings of $15,000 from his regular job. How does James invest this money to better serve him in the future? His research unveiled 3 stellar strategies to maximize his $15,000. First, James could consider is to invest in real estate investment trusts, commonly known as REITs. You can think of REITs as a pooled investment where you and a bunch of friends each chip in the money to buy a property. Imagine if you all bought an apartment building or a shopping center and shared the money you made from rent or profits. REITs are just like that, but on a much bigger scale. People pool their money to invest in a bunch of properties like office buildings, malls, apartments, and even healthcare facilities. REITs have been doing pretty well. Over the last 20 years, they've returned about 10% each year on average. For someone looking to grow their money, REITs are an attractive option. They can provide steady income too. A cool thing about REITs is that they often give out dividends every month, not just once or twice a year like regular stocks. So, they're especially appealing for people who want a regular income from their investments. Investing in REITs can be a bit of a mixed bag. While they can give good returns, the amount you earn can go up and down. This is because things like how full the properties are and the overall health of the economy can affect them. Even though REITs can sometimes do better than regular stocks, they can still lose value during tough economic times. So, let's figure out how much James would need to invest in REITs to make $15,000 a year. Let's look at some REITs that perform well. For instance, Invesco Mortgage Capital has a dividend yield, the percentage of your investment you get back each year, of 23.43%, Blackstone Mortgage has 12.43%, and Orchid Island Capital has 22.93%. If James puts his money only in REITs, these 3 could give an average dividend yield of about 19.6%. This means if James invests $15,000 now, he could earn about $2,940 every year. Let's see what happens if James keeps reinvesting the dividends he gets from his REITs over a long time. By using the dividend snowball strategy, where he puts the money he gets back into buying more shares, his $15,000 can grow a lot. In 10 years, it could turn into $85,261. In 20 years, that could grow to $295,928. And in 30 years, he could be looking at a whopping $771,104. This shows just how powerful compounding can be, especially with a higher dividend yield. It can really boost your investment over time. But it's important to remember that REITs can be risky and their value can go up and down a lot. Don't worry though, we're going to talk about a way to balance your investments to reduce these risks while still getting good returns. Stay tuned for that valuable tip. If you're finding this journey as riveting as we do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join the Invest Growth Wisdom family for more deep dives into the world of investing. The next strategy is dividend aristocrats. These are special companies in the S&P 500, known for being really reliable when it comes to dividends. They don't just give their shareholders dividends, but they also increase the amount they give every year. To be called a dividend aristocrat, a company has to have increased its dividend payments for at least 25 years in a row. Think of these companies as the pillars of stability. They often work in sectors that are always needed, like providing essential goods and services. This means they can usually do well even when the economy isn't great. Choosing to invest in dividend aristocrats is like choosing a safe and smart path. They show that they manage their money well and can keep growing while also sharing their profits with the people who invest in them. If James decides to put his money into dividend aristocrats, he might look at companies like AbbVie, Visa, and Broadcom. These companies have really good dividend growth rates. AbbVie has grown its dividend by 13.98% over 10 years, Visa by 18.49%, and Broadcom by an impressive 36.83%. Combined, these companies could give an average dividend yield of about 23.1%. Let's see what happens if James reinvests his dividends from these aristocrats over time. Starting with $15,000, after 10 years, his investment could grow to $103,372. In 20 years, it could shoot up to $401,942. And in 30 years? He could be looking at a massive $1,118,214. This shows the huge impact of high dividend yields and the amazing potential of the dividend snowball effect. However, it's important for James to be smart with his investments, balancing the attraction of high yields with the need to manage risks and maintain stability. Lastly, let's talk about covered call ETFs. To many, these might seem complex, but in reality, they're a golden ticket to a life funded by dividends. They are like a special kind of investment fund that can make you money in two ways. First, you can earn from the increase in value of the stocks the fund owns. Second, you can make money from dividends, which are like regular payouts from profits. Covered call ETFs typically sell out-of-money calls to increase dividend amount payment distributed to shareholders. It is actively managed by the ETF company, so you don't have to worry about the complicated, detailed nitty-gritty. Let's say James found out about some covered call ETFs called RYLD, QYLD, and XYLD that seemed really good. These funds had high dividend yields. The money you get back from your investment, RYLD had 15.87%, QYLD had 12.29%, and XYLD had 11.46%. Combining these three options offers an average dividend yield of approximately 13.2%. If James invested $15,000 in these, he could get back about $1,980 in a year just from dividends. But the exciting part happens over time. If James keeps putting the money he gets from dividends back into these ETFs, his investment could grow a lot. This is called the dividend snowball effect. In 10 years, his $15,000 could turn into $52,686. In 20 years, it could grow to $152,0343. And in 30 years, he could have $356,325 under this portfolio. This snowball effect shows how powerful it can be to reinvest your dividends. By using the dividends to buy more shares, you can make even more money over time. It's like rolling a snowball down a hill, it gets bigger and bigger as it goes. To handle risks, James or any smart investor should mix their investments. Instead of just choosing one type of investment, create a mix that includes REITs, dividend aristocrats, and covered call ETFs. The average returns are REITs at 19.6%, dividend aristocrats at 23.1%, and covered call ETFs at 13.2%. If you invest in all these, you could aim for an average return of around 18.6%. If you invest $15,000 today, in 1 year, you could get about $2,628 in dividends. But here's where it gets fascinating. The magic of compound interest takes center stage. In 10 years, your investment might grow to over $80,639. In 20 years, it could reach over $270,883. And in 30 years, your $15,000 could turn into $692,705. In conclusion, whether you're starting with $15,000 or any other amount, the key to building a fortune lies in diversification, strategic planning, and the magic of compounding dividends. By understanding and implementing these investment strategies, you can start working towards being financially free and growing your wealth. Thank you for joining us on this financial journey. If you found value in this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe for more content on smart investing and wealth growth.